Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to do a quick video here on a new product for the Stribog. As you can tell by the title of the video, it is these new curved Stribog mags. Before we get into that, I want to do a quick recap of my issues, my history with the Stribog, and then go from there. So, I bought this maybe 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago at this point, and I love the gun. The gun itself, I love. The mags, I hate. Now, there have been some issues with the mags. They're well documented. Now, my personal history is that I got this, took it to the range, initially started working fine, and then it started binding up. So I would have rounds binding up inside the mag, and then it would cause malfunctions. I would have to tap the mags to get them to move. It was a pain in the ass. Read somewhere that you have to oil them. That started a whole shit on the Stribog Facebook page, because I went on a rant about how I had to oil my mags to get them to function properly. But by oiling them, you're introducing a new element that can cause malfunctions later in the future. Now, that oil will attract dust over time that it sits, and if you're running and gunning, it's going to attract oil, it's going to attract dirt, grime, sand, whatever, and that in itself can cause malfunctions with the followers, binding them up, with the ammo binding it up. It's just, it was bullshit. That started an argument between me and the owner of the company on the Facebook page. Yarrow is the guy who owns Grand Power, and my frustrations was that you shouldn't have to oil a mag to get it to run properly. I understand that some manufacturers will introduce a dry film lubricant that's I forget what the chemical is, but it's a dry film lubricant, so you won't have to worry about stuff sticking and whatnot. But it's not needed. Some manufacturers do that, just an additional level of reliability, I guess. That being said, I said that I shouldn't have to oil my mags to get them to run correctly. Got into a big argument, and then I started... I guess there was a multitude of other individuals that were showing even worse issues that I was having with the mags, where they were having feed lips chip, like this one right here. I'm missing a piece of the feed lip, and this happened. I wish my phone would zoom in, but anyway, there it is. I literally threw this. It was a full mag. I threw it on the bed. I heard a round pop out, and when I grabbed it, it was chipped. It was stupid shit like that. And there's a couple of my other mags here are starting to become compromised. You see right there in that feed lip. Here's another one here. You can see that feed lip starting to... But some of the other guys, they would show like they would split right down the splines. Their whole feed lips would crack off. It was bad. And I didn't like the fact that Yarrow, rather than saying, hey, we understand that there's an issue, we're going to look into it and, see what the cause of it is, and if it's something that we can fix, we're going to go ahead and fix it, so on and so forth. Rather than that, he would get defensive and start posting videos of their drop tests and their reliability tests, almost to say that there wasn't an issue and this is customer induced, which was bullshit. So anyway, after enough complaining from the Stribog community, they did eventually address it. And then they came out with new mags, look just like this, probably the same exact polymer, and all they did was put a steel reinforcement, and I'll put a picture somewhere, sorry I hit the camera, I'll put a picture somewhere, maybe right here, of what it looks like. I didn't even bother getting them, because soon after people started getting them, they were having issues with it, because they changed the follower. The follower was having issues, the mags were having issues, and it just wasn't going that way. Fast forward a little bit, I eventually got onto a Stribog Aftermarket page on Facebook, and a gentleman by the name of Stephen Lehman I believe that maybe it's Lehman Stevens. I don't know. But that's the two names. I just don't know which order it goes. He created this. Now, there's other people who created similar products, but this is the RC4 Colt mag adapter. And what this does is it sits down in your mag well, like so, with this tab facing rearward. And this allows you to use Colt SMG mags. And they would insert, basically what it would do was close up the mag well so you didn't have so much slop, and this would seat reliably. But it would allow you to use the same mag release, and this would allow you to use the mag stop, or the last round bolt hold open, because this would push up and interface with this. Problem was, while the magazines were reliable and it fed everything and ejected correctly, last round bolt hold open did not work correctly. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it would lock the bolt back, but the second you would release the mag, it would drop the bolt, and sometimes it just wouldn't work at all. And that drove me up the wall, because that's $50 for that. And then if you want to use an economical option of Colt mags like these C products, you have to buy the RC4 mag followers, because the original mag followers, which are right here, don't work with this. So that was an issue. I eventually, at this point, was ready to give up. And then I started hearing about companies coming out with complete lowers that would allow you to use CZ Scorpion mags. Now, the two companies that have produced these, the first one is A3 Tactical. They created a polymer lower that will allow you to use regular AR trigger, and you can replace the grips on them. And then you run the CZ Scorpion mags. They don't make them anymore. I think right now they're in a transitional phase where they're changing how they make the lowers from whatever the process was before to injection molded. And it's been like that for months. I don't know if they're ever going to reintroduce it. Who knows? The second company is, and I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but Lingle. It's Lingle Industries, and they make an aluminum lower that allows you to use the Stribog, the CZ Scorpion mags. They have a paddle release here to drop the mags, and you can replace the pistol grip, and you can run regular AR triggers. But those are expensive. They're $315 just for the lower, and they're never in stock. It's been months, and they've been out of stock. So I was ready to sell this thing and give up on it, because I was really pissed off. And as much as I love the firearm itself, even though there is an issue where which is mainly a training issue, where the rounds can possibly get stuck and cause a serious malfunction, and that you just, when you clear it, you don't tilt it back and you don't have to worry about the problem. Then they came out with these. Now these, I saw these introduced, I seen them 2 weeks ago. I think they were introduced at the beginning of August, and I think that it's a really good option. And the reason being is because, one, they changed the followers, so the followers are different. I'll show you right here. So that's both of them together. Followers are clearly different. The polymer is different. You can see this is more of a shinier, clearer polymer, and I can squeeze these feed lips in. This one has got more of a cloudier polymer, different texture, and obviously is curved. You don't have to worry about the flexing of these mags. These are really, really robust for the polymer mags. Now, some people would prefer steel reinforced feed lips, which I would be all for. However, there's plenty of magazines out there that run polymer magazines that have been 100% reliable, and the first name that comes to mind is Magpul. Magpul basically were the pioneers of reliable polymer mags, and they still are. And I think they missed an opportunity to make really good money by jumping on the Stribog bandwagon, because they would have made a ton of money and probably saw this issue almost 2 years ago at this point. But however, you can see it's a really nice mag. I love the texture of it. It's different. So this one's got these linear, inline, horizontal, and vertical texturing, but it's rounded off, so it's smooth. This one's got more of a textured feel to it, and then you have these octagonal, almost, I don't know, kind of like the Hex Mag texture. It's still soft, but you got more of a pronounced grip with these hard edges here. Really nice. The springs are definitely softer than the original ones, and the followers are a little bit smaller. Like I said, it's a different geometry on them. But the biggest thing is 9mm has a taper. Now, this is not to say that stick mags cannot work, because there's plenty of platforms since the 40s, maybe even earlier, that have run 9mm stick mags that have been 100% reliable. However, that has not been the case with the Stribog magazines. And if you can see here, you got that seating this way, and then look at the second bullet. It's down on an angle. Then it starts to straighten out and starts tapering back. That's because 9mm has a slight taper. You don't see it when you just have one single round, but if you stack them next to each other, you'll see that they create a curve. And this is causing issues. And what this does is it puts pressure. Now, it'll look like it's sitting with it, but this feed lip doesn't have an actual angle on the bottom. It's just straight, and all the pressure is put on this portion here of the feed lip. And that's why you're getting a lot of that cracking. Not to mention that when it feeds, it's going to want to push in these weird angles, as opposed to being more of a natural angle here, where they'll sit flush and then feet straight, hit that ramp, and then go into the chamber. But look how this feeds. They're sitting nice and flat. And just from loading these two, this is 10 times easier to load than this one, in my opinion. But look at the difference between the two. Now, if this proves to be anything like what I think it's going to be, then I think that they have addressed the problem accordingly. Now, they addressed the problem in combination with global ordinance. So I don't know if it was global ordinance they got on their ass, or they were like, hey, let's do something together so we can fix this problem. But global ordinance is the importer for the Stribogs. You will see them on other people's websites for sale, but global ordinance is the importer, and they, along with Grand Power, addressed this issue, and these will now be coming with the new ones. So what's going to happen is, when you order a Stribog, and they will work with SP9A1s and SP9A3s, when you order them, I guess they're going to come with regular stick mags, but they're also going to come with one curved mag. So I think that's pretty good, because now you have options, and then you can try both and see which ones you like. But if this works out like I think it is, and hopefully tomorrow I'll get to run, 100 or 200 rounds down the pipe with these mags, and if they work reliably, these will just go into some bin somewhere, and maybe I'll use them as training mags, and then these will be my primaries. Now, this is a game changer to me, because if they work reliably, they're inexpensive. They're like $20 or so, $21 I think, 22, somewhere around there. And then it takes this from being a range toy to being something that you can use, say, as a dedicated home defense weapon, Whereas with these mags, the fact that I was having so many issues with these mags completely took it out of the realm of being something that I can use seriously. Now, there isn't much of a difference between the two in terms of weight. I think it's 0.2 ounces. So these are 3.3 and then these are 3.5 ounces when I weighed them out. But yeah, so just want to do a quick video. It never is a quick video, unfortunately, but these are the new Stribog curved mags. And like I said, I'm gonna run some rounds through and then report back on how they function. But I think that this is going to be a game changer if they run how I think they're going to run. And the reason why I think they're going to run, just to preface this, is that I did watch a video on YouTube, and the YouTuber's name's The Uncouth Truth, and he does a drop test with these, fully loaded, on in different angles, but primarily on to the feed lips. And they hold up extremely well, no cracking, no chipping, no nothing. So I suggest you go ahead and check that video out. And if you have a Stribog and you've been on the fence about what to do with the Stribog, I would highly suggest that you go onto Global Ordnance, or there's a couple other companies that are selling them online too. But go to Global Ordnance, go ahead and get a couple of these mags, run them, and see what you think about them. So, that being said, thanks for watching the video. I have more videos to come. And if you have any questions about this, go ahead and drop them down below. Again, I will do a follow-up. I may even do a little video of me shooting with these mags in. And, again, report back to you. So, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.